Okay, so hello and welcome to the Remember Who You Are workshop. And today we're going to do a little bit of story time and activation. So whether you're watching now or you watch later, or even if that are here present, feel like you want to go back and watch later, it's going to support you in an activation and just feeling up leveled and feeling better. So I'm going to go over a little bit about it, because I know some people know me, some people don't know me, they know the history. But the way this is going to go is I'm going to give you a little bit of story time. And today I'm going to give you a formula that is going to resonate with the Remember Who You Are. And it will make sense once you hear a little bit of the stories that I share with you. But if you're like me, what happened to me, and at some point, I think here in life, we all get to this point of like, why the F am I freaking here? Like, why am I here? What's my purpose? Why do I feel empty? Why do I not feel happy right now? And I know for me, that was the case. I was thinking that everything outside of me was going to make me happy, because I was looking for a role. I was looking for something. Chase, do you mind muting your background noise? Thank you so much. And you can chime in anytime you want. I would love to hear you, but just the background noise was a little. So thank you. So if you're like me, it was trying to figure out, how am I going to feel happier? What can I accomplish? Oh, let me be this overachiever that is the best at everything, and then I continue to be better and better and better. Okay, now I'm at the top. My dream, it took me 3 years to own my comedy club. Here I am at the very top. And I was like, okay, there's still something missing. I don't know what it is, but when I walk into my club and I talk about it, I'm feeling a little bit of peace, like maybe a little Band-Aid of, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe I figured it out. And then I thought, well, why don't I just get in a really amazing relationship with somebody? Who is the one person that would actually make me feel like I'm enough? He would have to be famous. So I found that too. I actually manifested specifically a famous person. And again, it was great until it wasn't. It was a Band-Aid. I'm still searching for this thing that's missing. What is it that's missing? I have all of the friends. I have the image. Everybody is telling me I'm so good at what I do. Oh, you have this, you have that. But why was I still not happy? Why did it still not make sense? And for me, I began to drink, and I drank, and I drank, and I drank. This is making me happy. This must be the solution. And I just kept on numbing the pain to feel the happiness that was short-lived. And that was the Band-Aid that I continued to put on my life until the breakup. The breakup hit me so hard when he broke up with me. That was my worth. That showed me who I was. Like, what do I do now? So I was forced to look within. I was forced to look at something that I was completely avoiding. And that's when I began to do the healing. And the healing for me allowed me to see I was wearing a mask, but I didn't even know I was wearing it, trying to feel enough, trying to feel important. And so the reason I share this story with you is because that's the way most of us are living. We're looking for something outside of us to fill a void within, but what is that void? And I'm going to pivot a little bit to another story, but it's going to be in relevance to what we're talking about. Before time, when they were, let's just say there was gods here figuring out how this universe would actually function. And there was 3 gods. And they were trying to figure out where to hide the divinity. And the first god was said, I have an idea. Let's hide it on the top of the mountain. Like really, really the tallest mountain that there is. Let's go hide it there. And the god said, that's a good idea. The other gods, I know, I think they're going to find it. Another god said, I got an idea. How about we hide it at the very bottom of the ocean, the deepest part of the ocean? They'll never find it there. And the gods said, that's a really good idea, but they'll find a way. They'll figure it out. They're really intelligent. Another god said, I have an idea. Let's find the hottest part of the desert and the deepest part of the desert, and let's hide it there. They'll never go there. Another gods are like, maybe, but no, they'll figure it out. So then the one god, the last god said, I know where to hide it. Hide it within them. They'll never find it there. And it's been a constant search here. And what I've discovered in my journey, and if you saw my stories, you saw that, and I know Diana knows this, that I did ayahuasca 4 years ago because I was at the point in my life where I decided to let go of the comedy club, let go all of the friends that were supporting my image of who I thought I was. Not that it was their fault. It was just who I attracted because of the image, the mask that I was wearing, that I didn't know any better at the time. Decided to get my life together, completely go cold turkey and stop drinking so I could feel what was going on within me. That's when the real work began, because I had to feel everything that I had been avoiding. But the thing I'll say about the ayahuasca journey is that I didn't understand it really. But there was the part that I was being shown that we were all one. We're all one. And I was like, okay, I get it. I felt it. And even as time has gone and progressed over the years, it's like we're all one. So why are we here? Right? Why are we here? If we're all one, why are we here? What is the purpose of this life? What is the purpose of what we come here to accomplish? Why are some people's different than others? And so I'm going to invite you into what I have found on my journey. And every time I think that I know what oneness is, I continue to peel back the layers of the onion and continue to just keep on discovering more parts of myself. So I'm going to share today my perspective, my belief system of what I feel like experience through ayahuasca, through guiding other people and seeing what's happening with them. I've guided hundreds of people now in the last 4 years, and also through my own journey. And to me, it's just a little case study. I'm just getting more and more information. And I love to just see where the similarities are in all of us. But when it comes down to it, the formula that I'm going to show you today is the one thing that will always bring you back to remembering who you are. Whether you believe the next story I'm about to share with you before I share the formula, whether you believe it or not is not the importance. What's important is that you realize the power of you being your own creator and you get to choose your belief system. But what I invite you to pay attention to is if the belief system is causing you suffering, then that belief system is probably not the belief system that is in your highest good. So if you want to believe that monkeys fly and that's going to set you free internally, then believe that, right? Whatever you feel in your heart. But through my experience, remembering who we are, this one thing I'm about to talk about, I want to share because I've noticed that it's a triggering word for a lot of people, and it was for me too. And I wrote about it recently in the Telegram group. And the triggering word was the word God. And the, hi, Kitty. And the beautiful awareness of me coming back into the space of understanding the difference between religion and God has been very freeing for me. So this is not about religion at all. This is about when I say the word God, for me personally, what that means to me is it means the connection to the highest power, the source, the creator of who we are. And it doesn't necessarily mean man or woman, female or male. It means that for me, I like to put an image to it because I'd rather, that's just my experience. But some people call it source, some people call it universe, and whatever it is for you, there's no wrong way. But for me, I'm going to use God, and I invite you not to be triggered. If you are, then that's okay too. I don't want you to feel like we're controlling your feelings. However, it's going to be important to understand why you're here and where you come from. So what I invite you into, if most of you here, I would assume, have heard of the Big Bang Theory? Yes or no, maybe? Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. So for those of the people that may not know, yeah, just the beginning of the creation of who we are. So if you could just think of it as this ball of energy, and then sparking out a whole bunch of little us's, right? So you want to relate to that as God, the light, the source, as that, and then boom, the spark is coming out, and each one of us is a piece of that. So if you were to think that we're here right now, and we're all infinite beings, we're here forever. We're here. There's no getting rid of us. Like our body dies, but our soul is infinite. And what other experiences could we do with all of this time that we have? Because if you're like me, you feel like you don't have enough time. There's never enough time, and the time is infinite. The time is linear, and we love to have different experiences. So when you came here to Earth, you were born here. If you remembered who you are, how fun would that be? We had to forget who we are to remember who we are. So the more you can apply to your life what I'm going to teach you today, the more you can begin to remember who you are. And the more you remember who you truly are, past the programs, past society, past all of the BS that's going on, past all of that, the more you can come in deeper connection to who you are, the better life gets for you. The more your life expands, the more it opens up. And then you can realize that you're a creator too, just like source, universe, God, and you have those powers. Because ultimately, we came here to create on a different level. And there's obstacles in the way and challenges, but at the end of the day, we're always moving to the space back to love, back to ourself. So there is no separation. The only separation is the stories that we tell about each other, because we all have personalities. But when we leave here, those personalities are not as evident, not as the identities. So if I created an identity, for example, like I'm an overachiever, I'm successful, I have all these things, that goes away in the spiritual world when we transition over. That completely goes away. That was just our human experience. So one of the biggest discoveries that I recently had, and as long as I've been doing this work, this is the biggest discovery that I've had. And I was like, okay, it applies to the work that I'm already doing. I just didn't know why I was actually doing it. So we come here to go through anger, hate, fear, all of that stuff. We come here to go through that, in every single experience bringing us back to love. So all of the experiences, each one of them. So for me, I was having an issue with one of my family members. I was like, okay, that's me bringing myself back to love. The breakup with the ex, that's me bringing myself back to love with that situation. My mom, bless her soul, she's rest in peace, but bringing my soul back, right? So each experiencing, being able to find yourself and bring yourself back to love, is setting your soul on fire, and it's allowing you to remember who you are. And when we remember who we are, again, we understand our true power. So before I share this formula with you, are there any questions about that right now? Okay. Okay. So the formula, well, let me just share this because this is coming through. Because I also work with the subconscious mind, now I'm going to get into the science just a little bit more so we can kind of make sense of both. Because I work with the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is running 95% of your actions, habits, and behaviors. So this is why when I kept on like driving myself, I was exhausted, I was tired, I was like, I got to get this club open. I don't care. I got to get it open. What was that why was that pushing me to be like the best? Like, where did that come from? Well, where it came from was my subconscious of not believing I was enough. So I was trying to prove it to myself. So I basically had a battle within my head of like, you need to be better, and this is not enough, like people are the way that people treat you, the way that they see, if they're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, then that's a band-aid, that's enough, right? I needed validation from people. That's what I was feeling. So I didn't know that the subconscious mind was just running like that. So we all have these stories. We don't understand why life is not going the way that it's going. And it's because the subconscious is just taking over. The subconscious is influencing us because it runs 95% of everything we're doing. And so you have 70,000 thoughts a day, and only 3,500 of them you're completely aware of. So we're not gonna do this today. I did this in one of my other workshops, but we're not gonna do this today. But if you're watching the replay, or if you want to do this later on your own, I invite you to just become radically aware of your thoughts. And the way that you can do that is for 5 minutes. Everything you're thinking, say it out loud. Yeah. And I believe in attracting energy. Like I did this and then I went to the store and then I just had this lady like just talking to me. I was like, it's like, oh my goodness. But yeah, but that's no here or there. But what I'll say is that I heard so many things. Why aren't you working out? You need to work out. I don't understand why you're not working out. You can do that later. Like I started listening to what I was saying to myself and how many times I was saying it to catch the patterns. And so for 5 minutes, just talk out loud. And you can even write down your patterns, but talk out loud and see what you're saying to yourself. Is that talk nice? Are you being mean to yourself? Right? Is it from love or hate? Because we can't be in both. So is this loving or is this sound angry? Are you scolding yourself, right? Like where are we at with this? So again, with the God saying, where is divinity? It starts within. We got to find that love within ourselves. And we have to be kinder to ourselves. And then that radiates out to everybody else. When we have it in it, just effortlessly, the subconscious just takes over. Right? I remember when I was in relationships or when I was in the club scene before jokesters, like even before when I was managing people, I would have my employees say, I feel like I'm not enough. And I was like, or they would say, nothing's good enough for you. And I was like, oh, wow. Years later, I realized that it was because I didn't feel enough. And I was projecting that on my employees. It was coming out because what you are inside is how you project outside. That's why the work is so important for you to be within. So pay attention to the way that you're talking to yourself. Because a lot of times we're just ignoring ourselves and we just want to be witnessed and heard. And this can help really with your life being more easy, more flow. Because if you're finding resistance in your life right now, that means we're not in the remember who you are energy. If there's resistance. Because ultimately it should be a smooth transition. It should flow. But we're thinking we got to think about everything instead of letting like the divine flow through us. And we're part of that channel. We're part of that source. We forget that. And we have access to it all the time. But the thing is, we came here to forget. So source is like, well, just, I'm here if you want, but you wanted this experience to forget. You wanted an experience. Right? So it's important just for you to realize when you're there, you can just catch yourself, bring it back in. But ultimately, what I'm going to share with you is really powerful because this is the biggest issue that I found in myself and all of my clients. Self-forgiveness. Because if the subconscious mind is influencing a lot of things that you're doing, honestly, there are a lot of people that are in this, and everybody is doing the best they can from their level of consciousness. So when you allow yourself the freedom to no longer hate that part of you and begin to love it, you've now learned an experience. I like to say we're all here having these like soul contracts. We all have like soul contracts. And so whatever that is, and I'll tell you, my mother would not forgive herself what she did to me. 5 days before she passed away in her sleep, she finally forgave herself because we had a talk, and she unexpectedly passed away in her sleep 5 days later. And I heard something recently with a client actually yesterday, and there's been other experiences like this. And it just goes to show you that we do have a purpose. There is a reason why we are here. And so if you're in the forgetting stages and you're not unconditionally loving that part as well, because it's part of your journey, you're gaining wisdom. You're gaining all of these things in the forgetting stages. And perhaps that'll allow you to open your mind to begin to forgive yourself. and love yourself deeper, because there's no such thing as right and wrong, good and bad, like they put in the Bible. That's not a thing. Anything after, and if that's somebody's belief system, I'm not taking that away. We all get our own belief systems. But to me, if it causes you to suffer, if it's causing you to be scared and fear, is that love? It's not love. So how will you ever remember who you are? How will you be able to tap into that power, the creator power? When you don't know who you are, you're so lost. People are so confused. Most of my clients that come in, they sit down, they're just like, I have no idea, right? Like, they're so confused. Their little child is confused from just a young age, from parents not knowing what to do, and that being passed down and passed down and passed down. And now we are here where we are now, which is beautiful because we have all this access to information. So this is the biggest awareness and awakening. And each one of you is going to have a different experience depending on what your soul came here to evolve and learn and grow. Do any of you know the mantra from Ho'oponopono? Yes, Diane? Okay. All right. So I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to share it with you in a different way. And then I'll open up the floor as well when we finish here to any questions, or if anybody would like any guidance or support, feel free. It doesn't have to be necessarily on this topic. It could be anything at all. But for the sake of finishing up what we started and giving you a little bit of nuggets to take home with you, I'm going to go ahead and finish up with this story, and something that another view of just really stepping into the mantra of Ho'oponopono. So for the people that don't know what Ho'oponopono is, it is a Hawaiian mantra, and there was a prison that I think it was in like the 70s or the 80s. I'm not sure. You can look it up. It's Dr. Lin Yu. And it was about the 70s or the 80s. And there was a prison that was just out of control. People were murdering each other in there. They were committing suicide. The employees were scared to go to work because it was so dangerous. And they tried in bringing all these different psychologists and other modalities until they finally decided we have to do something different. This is not working. They're not listening. They're angry. What can we do? And so they found this doctor, this Hawaiian doctor, Dr. Lin Hu, I think, or Linhew is how it's spelled. And they found him. And he said, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to help you. But I'm not going to talk to any of the prisoners. I'm like, okay. So what he did was he got a list of all of the prisoners. I think there was like maybe 50 prisoners or something like that. And he got a list of all of them. And he said this one mantra. He said, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And he continued to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And he looked at all of the judgments that he had within him, and he looked at their name, and he kept on repeating it and repeating it. And he did this for days and weeks and months until the crime rate was I believe it went right to zero. There might have been like maybe 95% or something like that. It got to like cleanse up, but it was something like insane like that. And it was just through doing what I'm about to share with you. And I'm going to explain to you why it worked. Because this is a mantra that you can use if you're feeling you're struggling. And words, prayers, energetically, collectively, they hold a certain frequency. So the energy behind these words have been used probably hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of times. So it increases the power of using this. And that's the power of language, which is for another topic or another day, but for the sake of today. So the reason he started with I'm sorry. He's saying he's sorry for the experience. And the way I'm going to relate this is more so to you and the relationship that you have with yourself. And the first thing is I'm sorry because he was obviously the prisoners were obviously asleep. They were all running from their unconscious. And everybody was judging them. They didn't know what to do. Everybody was out of control. So I invite you to use, and most of the time, that's exactly what's happening inside of us. We're busy doing this, we're busy doing that, but we forget to pay attention to ourselves. The body is doing something right now. The knee is hurting. It's telling you to sit down and rest, but you keep on going and going, and you're ignoring your own needs. And the more you tap into the stillness, the more you're going to hear what you actually need so you can be happier. And sometimes we think doing and doing and doing and doing is going to get it done. But sometimes it actually, not sometimes, every time, if the body's calling for rest, you always actually gain more. So this is feeling called to come in because I know I have some active entrepreneurs on here. So this is what I'll say. Every 2 hours, 5 minutes of rest. No matter how busy you are, every 2 hours, 5 minutes of rest. You will actually recharge. Think of it as a battery. You keep on plugging in your phone every time you recharge. And we do that. And that's going to support you. But the theme is that we want to listen, right? Because our body is part of us. It's not just us thinking. It's our body. It's our mind. It's our soul. And when they're all in alignment, that's when life gets to be easy, good. You have all the things. There's no judgment. If you want to freaking open up a comedy club, if you want to, you want to have all the money in the world, like have it. It's your divine right. But for me, I was in a wound. So I felt burned out and exhausted and tired. But your divine right is to have whatever you want. Right? So when you acknowledge yourself, this is the biggest thing. And I found this recently on my journey. Just acknowledging, I'm sorry to yourself. You were doing the best that you could with what you had. It's such a big change in your life. So the next one would be, please forgive me. All right? So please forgive me for placing judgment on you. How can I judge what is part of me too? We're all just here going through the same emotions. There's not one person that gets out of earth that's like, no, I don't think I'm ever going to experience fear or anger or sadness or depression. But we keep on thinking, well, I only want to experience joy. That's it. Well, you wouldn't have been here. You're not here for that. You're here to find your way back when you're not in joy. You're here to understand that when we're not in joy, that means that there's something for you. There's a lesson. And when we keep on pushing it away and stop listening to it, we don't see what the lesson is, then we keep on reliving the pattern because subconscious goes in patterns. So we're like, oh, we're here again. We're here again. Right? And so that's the frustration. That's when we get in the point where like, oh, like what's the answer? I don't know what the answer is. And so just the mantra saying, I'm sorry. The first part is I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Start to take off the reins a little bit and loosen up. So that way the divine can flow through you. And then thank you. Thank you for this human experience. Without this human experience, not that we don't all want joy, but that's all there was in heaven. It was just joy, heaven, or whatever you want to call it. It's like, oh, I want to be on vacation. Boom, I'm there. I want organic food. Boom, I have it. right? It's like everything. I want friends. I want a party. Boom, boom, boom. Like whatever. I want people to be kind to me. Like you have it all. So when you can truly appreciate this experience as this human experience, and I'll give you an example with me. I had an experience where the comedy club came back around to me. I thought all my taxes were paid. They came and said, you owe $7,000 back. This is recently, and back taxes. And I was like, what? And I was like, what am I trying to learn from this? Tell me what I'm trying to learn from this. What is it? And so what I did, normally, I did freak out a little bit, but normally I would freak out. But what I did instead was I said, thank you for this experience. I don't know what's in it for you, but just thank you, thank you, thank you. I switched the energy. Do you believe when I switched the energy, the most magical thing came to me was an idea I needed to hear to get out of it. There's no way. Like I am convinced the higher power came through because I even called my lawyer and he didn't know the answer. I had to tell my lawyer, look, this came through. And he goes, oh yeah, you're right. I was like, oh my gosh. But that's the magic that happens when we change because we just realize it's a lesson. It doesn't have to be so, and you're the creator, so you change the energy. But the more you push it away, get angry, then guess what? You haven't learned it. So with every lesson, what happens? If you didn't complete, then we keep on going through first grade until we complete to get to second grade. So the only way we can change the lesson is if we actually change our energy and experience towards that. And now we've learned something. So being thankful is such a powerful tool that you can use. And really being grateful, really just being grateful for it. And the last one, and this one to me is the most important. We're all love. We are. You say, I love you. We came from the same source. Right? All of your who you think is your enemies, when you transition over, just hanging out, having fun with everybody. Nobody gives a shit anymore. It's like, okay, that was our human experience. Everybody's just loving everybody because we all are love. And some people go through this whole journey and being asleep the whole time. Right? And it's to say to have compassion for them. And obviously that's nobody on this call or you wouldn't be here. Seeking the answers, seeking the growth. It shows the wisdom of your soul, but it's not saying that we're better or worse. Just we're all different. We're all in different levels of our soul's evolution. We're all in different levels. So when we can truly come home to our heart and know that we're love. In every experience we have, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you can clear that. And you're the creator. And now you've cleared out some of the limitations in the subconscious mind. You cleared out some of the limitations of thinking that I can't have that, or I can't do that, or whatever is getting you in the way of what you truly want. And now you become this divine vessel. And this vessel, this vessel that you are, now you have the power to put the energy of what you actually want out there so it can actually manifest into your life. So you can truly have all that you want. We all have that ability because we are a spark of the source. And so when we remember who we are, we remember that we're love, we remember that we're a creator, and we move out everything that's getting in the way of those beliefs, we open up our life to the most magical life, like even better than you can imagine. And I actually invite you to step out of your way and ask, when you ask source, if you don't already have a relationship with whatever you feel called to call, I'm gonna say God in my case, I have a relationship with God every single day. I connect every single day. And when I want something, I'll give you an example. when I manifested the famous boyfriend and I manifested other men in my life, this time I said, God, it's up to you. Like, you pick for me what is in my highest good, because I know my intentions are different this time than they were before. But still, I trust you more than I trust me, and we're going with your way. So you just give it up. Even with the tax thing, God, here, take it from me. Take it from me. I don't want to have to worry about it. We have that access. We just give it up to the creator and we surrender. And we begin to tap into more trust and trust and trust. Because right now we don't trust ourselves because the subconscious is taking over. It's like, oh man, you made me do that. Right? You made me. That's what we're thinking about ourselves. So we don't trust ourselves. So the way that we begin to relate to have the trusting relationship with ourselves, we have to see more evidence. That's just the way the human mind works. Maybe you don't have to, right? But most people do. If you don't, that's great. If you already trust, that's wonderful. But I know for me, I was like, I need to see more evidence. I need to see that this is actually working, right? And you can see that, and that's okay if you're there. If not, then that's okay too. Just, you get to have your own human experience. So that's the conclusion of the discussion on remembering who you are and finding yourself back home. Are there any questions?
So one that I have is what do you do how do you sit with that? How do you be patient with yourself, I guess is what I'm trying to ask. Like when I have something that I know I need to do and I want to do the things to set that in motion and I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like just being still is extremely difficult because I feel like I like what you said about listening to how you talk to yourself for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that's what sometimes will not allow me to sit still. But I feel like it's going to take more than 5 minutes.
Wait, what do you mean will not? Can you explain that a second? So what part will not allow you to sit still?
I think it's like the sense of like maybe it's like a cultural thing where I feel like I have to be in action. I have to be making some effort towards it. Like just sending like the intention out sometimes and then being patient and having faith and trusting that it's going to happen. I feel like I need to do something, even if that something is maybe what I will consider like preparation work for receiving.
Okay.
But like I'm still doing something, like so just being still and waiting is hard.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for expressing that. So for if I'm hearing you correctly, what's happening is that the mind feels like it always has to constantly do to accomplish whatever you need. And I would assume you're talking about work, but is this in all areas of your life or is it just in work?
Well, it's not in work anymore because I quit my job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess you could say it's kind of it is kind of in work though, because it's in kind of like finding what I consider to be my purpose and like what I need to be like working on, like to ready myself for that next opportunity.
Got you. And there's a part of you that learned that you have to do. And you said something earlier, which was relation to my story, it is about not being enough and not being enough. Right. So now did you know that you were already in that limitation?
I did. From another angle, from more of a relationship angle, but I hadn't recognized it as much from like this angle. So I guess it's kind of a prevalent problem for me.
Okay. No, it's okay. And it's great. It's a great awareness because awareness is the first part. But what is enough? Can you tell me what enough is?
No, I can't actually.
Yeah.
I don't have a definition for that.
Yeah, because there's not one. There's not one.
I guess the definition of enough would be more than I am now. I don't
Okay.
know.
So why would you think that you're any less then?
Because I don't have it yet.
Okay, what don't you have?
The great idea, the thing that I'm wanting, my purpose, clarity, what there's an absence, I guess you could say. I'm
Okay.
detecting an absence.
Okay. So what's happening is that you're waiting for the thing outside of you,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is what we were talking about at the beginning, and this is just an awareness, right? This is a lot of people do this. So you're waiting for the outside to say that it's enough.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going to happen when we're in that energy is that it's never going to be enough because it's a hamster wheel. So until you can learn to align to yourself right now, and what I was talking about earlier, I want to ask you, is it okay if I get a little bit deeper with you? Are you okay with that?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay. Where in your life, what part of your life did you first learn that you had to overachieve or do something to earn maybe love?
So I actually did a lot of work on this a few years ago when I was going through that whole relationship thing, and I pinpointed the exact instant
Okay.
for me. So it was when I was 12 years old,
Okay.
and I really wanted the horse that I eventually ended up getting, my horse,
Okay.
Julie, and my parents could not afford to buy her for me. And when I was 12 years old, I took that as I wasn't a good enough daughter. I wasn't responsible enough. If I had been good enough, then the horse would have come to me when I was 12. And that was the first time. And then I had an added layer to that, because
Mm-hmm.
when I eventually, the whole story, I found her
Mm-hmm.
many years later and
Mm-hmm.
bought her myself. That was me saying, okay, I'm not enough for anyone to ever give anything to me, or for me to receive from someone else. I have to provide it for myself.
Okay.
So that was the whole pattern there, was like I felt like if I had been a better child or better daughter, a better, like, whatever, like, I would have been able to get what I wanted when I was 12.
And how do you look at that situation? Thank you for sharing the story. And I know that had to be challenging for a child to feel like you're not worthy of it, not
Mm-hmm.
understanding the finances, just wanting your horse. And there was a whole story around that created a pattern. And it's beautiful that you found the pattern, which is awesome. How do you tell the story the way you told me? Is that the way you continue to share the story if you ever share it? Or is this the first time that you've shared it since then? Or is there another way that you're sharing the story now?
So I shared in a different way. So that side of the story was kind of particular to what
Mhm.
it did to me. Like, as far as like my patterns, like what you were identifying. The way that I normally share it is more of like a fairy tale, like it is proof to me that, manifestation is real. And that if you really set your heart on something and you want it badly enough, that you can create it in your life, that despite all odds, it will come to you. So there's many different ways that I tell that story. I mean, this is kind of the shadow side of the story that I
Okay.
only discovered a few years ago, that of
Okay.
how it has impacted my behavior.
Got you. Got you. And so is there a place in your heart to feel grateful for that situation?
Oh yeah, totally. Because if I had not, so let's say that I did get her when I was 12 years old, I wouldn't have become the person that I am today.
Yeah.
Like the effort that went into that, and like the against all odds reunion that we had, changed my life in a way that, and like I said, I wouldn't have been grateful for her. Like
Yeah.
I would have taken her for granted, in fact, and it wouldn't
Beautiful.
have been the same story. So I think it was something that I needed to really shape me into the person that I
Beautiful.
am.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful awareness. And that part of you during that time made a decision about herself. So I know you're telling me about the experiences, but what did it mean about the little version of you at that time? What did it mean about you, her, that you couldn't get your horse?
So for her, what she learned was that um, you have to try harder. You have to you have to do better. You have to try harder, and you have to do more than everyone else in order to get what you want, in order to
Okay.
be deserving of that.
Okay. So that's the part of you that I want to talk to. Okay. Okay. Because she's still kind of running the show. Right.
Mm-hmm.
She's running the show a little bit. She's like, this is what we still have to do because also seeing evidence of it working at
Yes,
times.
yes, that was like solidifying it.
Okay. So what are the, and it's beautiful that you see the positivity in the lessons, but what are the negative consequences if we can just, connect to that part of you? What are the negative consequences that actually continue to keep you in the pattern of just feeling like you're not deserving, it's not enough and that you have to keep on just going, going, and going to get what you want, and it's not enough until you get the horse?
So it really manifested in my romantic relationships because I was constantly like overgiving, making excuses for why other people weren't there for me in the ways, and feeling like if I just loved enough for both of us, that
Mm-hmm.
I could make it work and I could carry the entire weight on myself. So in that sense, like I'm not, and I haven't been for a long time in any kind of romantic situation. I think it has made me close off from that because I haven't been able to have that healthy balance. I haven't been able to maintain a healthy balance there. Because like the pattern was that I was always felt not enough. And so I just kept giving and giving and giving, and then felt taken for granted.
Okay. And today, you're still experiencing, so it's beautiful that you figured that out, right? So sometimes there's just little stories we have to clean up in our psyche, and you probably wouldn't have been ready for this like 2 years ago. Right? You're
Mm-hmm.
at the point now where you can kind of clean up the little story because there's a lot that you've already done. I can tell by just talking to you, and the last time that I talked to you, like there's a lot of work there that you've done, which is great. But there's still the part of you, there's still the little girl that thinks that she's still trying to get her horse. Okay. So what I want to share with you is the little girl, before she got the horse and wanted the horse and was told that she couldn't get the horse, was she any more worthy of the horse that day that she didn't get the horse than the day that she did get the horse?
No,
No.
it was the same.
Yeah, it's actually the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, she picked up a belief that she wasn't worthy or enough or
Mm-hmm.
deserving until she sees the actual evidence.
Yep.
So there's a part of you that was abandoning yourself and saying, well, I'm not going to come back. You're not allowed back here until you get the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind's going to go like, well, let me try to get you to come back because that's the happy place. That's when you feel whole and complete. Right? So the negative consequences of staying in the energy now, the energy that Diane is in now, where she wants to stay still. She wants
Mm-hmm.
to hear what's coming through. She wants to be able to finally allow herself to have some peace because she's been going at it for a really, really long time. Probably the reason why you quit your job too, right? Like you were at burnout, you were tired because this is what happens. So this is the, go
I
ahead.
made the decision to quit from the back of an ambulance.
Well, wow. Okay. So, and
Yeah.
sometimes it takes that, right? And I'm glad that you're
Mm-hmm.
okay if you're the one in it. For sure. I'm really glad that you're okay. And I just want to just step you into, like, you're making the moves. This is part of our divinity. We can't be here if we don't have here. You probably even needed the ambulance to get to your next level, right? We have these little things in life that we are just taking the micro moments of where we're going with our soul and what we're here to learn. And right now you're learning a deeper level of allowing yourself to know that there's no difference in little Diana that didn't get the horse and Diana that when she did get the horse. And that, yes, you can manifest, you can do that. But if it doesn't come, it doesn't mean that you're not worthy.
Mm-hmm.
You not landing? Okay. So yeah, so you're worthy either way, but you're looking for your happiness out here.
Mm-hmm.
Get it, I'll be happy. Well, you're never going to get it because you're in lack. So you can manifest, but what you're manifesting is the opposite of what you want. You're manifesting, you don't have it. Right? So it's about the energy first. We got to be the energy first. Feel the energy first. Feel as if you already have it, but we have to be able to still the mind enough to be able to get that information. So the part of you that learned, when I go back to her again, because she's such a little trooper, she's been amazing for you through this whole thing, but to let her know that she was not any less deserving. She deserves it all no matter what, just for being. She's the God spark. She's a spark. That was part of her human experience. Even in the mess of what she didn't like when she was doing, she was still worthy then. That's our divinity. We never lose our worth. We never lose it. And there's no end date of being enough. We deserve everything here. We're just going through a human experience. So the little 9-year-old version that's had a lot of work done. She's had a lot of work done. Is she willing to be on board? Does she understand the negative consequences of you staying in this energy and what it's doing?
Yeah, I think she's real tired of this.
Okay. So she's exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Is that pretty much how you're feeling?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You're feeling exhausted. Okay. So are you open to doing something for 5 minutes for just a second?
Yes.
Okay. And thank you, Cecilia and Chase, for being here and listening and allowing me to guide her. If you want to just go ahead and tap in real quick to shut your eyes and just take a few breaths. Beautiful. All right. And if it's okay with you, I'm just going to ask for your higher self, source, God, benevolent beings and guides that you have in this lifetime, archangels, to come in and support.
Yes.
For your highest good and healing to just overcome this for the last time.
Yes.
Okay. So the goal is to acknowledge that part of you. Can you see the little girl when she was?
Yes.
Okay. How does she look? What emotions?
She's sad,
Okay.
angry,
Angry. Okay.
and confused.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Is she willing to talk to you, or does she want to have nothing to do with you?
She wants to talk.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to guide you, and I just want to acknowledge you for being here. And this has been a lot of work for this version of you, but we want this to be the last time that we go back to this experience. And it's okay that you're angry. It's okay that you're sad. It's okay that you're frustrated and confused. But the goal is for you to have some relief today. And I would love for you, if you feel cold in your heart, to let her know that you know that this feels terrible and you're the only one that knows how she feels. Would you like my support? Okay, you're doing great. I'm proud of you. Just for being here. I know this is hard, but you can do it.
So I tell her that I'm sorry and I know how much it hurts,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not her fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you let her know that it's okay to feel what she's feeling?
It's okay.
It was rough for you. It was rough. You had it rough. It's okay to feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Is there
She
something
said
she... Mhm, go ahead.
she said she felt alone
Yeah. Hmm.
and like there was no one that would help her.
Right. That makes sense. Can you let her know that it makes sense? That's why she did a lot of the things and she thought her way. She was very intelligent in the way that she created an environment to make herself feel loved and not alone. She wanted the horse.
Yeah.
The horse was going to help her. So she's a very intelligent little girl.
I want to tell her that I know that it broke her heart
Then
and
go
that she
ahead and
didn't
tell her.
deserve that.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. What does she look like now?
She looks brighter. It's like there's
Beautiful.
not a shadow over her or a cloud.
Beautiful. 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 Do you understand why she did what she did?
Yes.
Do you understand she was just looking for her love, remembering her love?
Yeah. But she was trying to protect herself from getting hurt again.
Right. Exactly. Right. So we just go ahead. Yeah, beautiful. Breathe. You're doing great. You're doing beautiful. We just want to figure this all out. And that you're the only one that knows how terrible that felt and how alone she felt. And you both were doing the best that you could from your level of consciousness.
Yeah. She didn't have a lot of options.
She didn't have a lot of options. And she created a belief, at the most genius belief that anybody could actually create. She created the belief that if I just constantly do more and get more, I don't have to depend on anybody else and I'll be worthy. But we know that that's what kept her safe for so long. We understand why she actually made that decision. It was actually very genius and it worked for the time that it worked. but now it's no longer working for the next level of what you're ready for.
Yep.
Does she understand, or does she still look confused?
No, she understands. She says she doesn't have to carry the weight anymore.
Beautiful, beautiful. Does she feel lonely, or does she feel loved from you?
She says she feels loved and powerful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Are you willing to forgive her for what
Yes.
she didn't know? Beautiful.
Yes.
Is there a place in your heart that we can allow her to come back home?
Yes.
What I'd like you to do is envision her turning into a white ball of energy, of love. And that orb of her is coming home to you in your heart. And what you just shared with me about feeling empowered and feeling love, I want you to feel that in your heart when she comes into your heart. Knowing that she no longer has to be alone. You're stepping into a new identity, thanking her for the contract that she had with you. And you're feeling the new energy.
Yep.
That life gets to be easy and you're always worthy and you've always been worthy. Can you feel that in your heart?
Yes.
How does your body feel?
Lighter.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Like I
You're
just
doing,
let go of something huge.
yeah, yeah. Great work. Great work. Great work.
Wow. I
Yeah.
didn't expect that to happen. Sorry, you guys.
No, it's when you see somebody go through a breakthrough. So thank you for doing that. That was beautiful. You did great work. Great work. Yeah, you look lighter. You look like refreshed, right, Cecilia? You can see like the difference. Like the lights probably look different. Life looks different.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And what I'm going to invite you to do is to make sure that you take a shower tonight and get your crown chakra wet. Maybe sit in an Epsom salt bath and drink some water, because that was some heavy, deep work that we just did.
Yeah.
And I know you're very spiritually in tune, so I know you're feeling it. So,
Yeah.
but life gets to get easier for you now.
Well, thank God.
Life gets to get easier. Life gets to get easier.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I felt like I could see your envisioning her through just seeing your face and just watching you in that moment and working through it. You can just tell each of the different phases, and it just seemed very palpable from my end. So
Wow, that's beautiful,
Felt it.
Cecilia. Thank you for sharing your experience. I think that's always interesting to me too. When somebody's watching a breakthrough, it's like, oh, but that's interesting. Your faces were actually changing through it. So you were stepping into those timelines that are very fascinating. So thank you for your vulnerability. You're courageous, like for allowing us to go that deep, especially in a group. So thank you. That was just incredible, and I'm excited to hear. Keep us updated in the chat.
I will.
How things go and open up for you. It's super exciting. Great work. You brought her back to love. Good job. So, you're welcome. Cecilia, I know Chase is here too. I forget because he doesn't have his camera on. So, but Cecilia, do you have anything that you would like support with?
Actually, as you were working with Diana, I feel like, and this has happened in other sessions, but I felt like I was able to sort of piggyback and ask those questions to myself. And so I had a little bit of a silent, experience as well. So I think one of the beautiful things about these group sessions is, even if we're listening to someone else's experience, there's still some way to connect it or tie it or learn from it or keep it in your pocket in case you may need it another time. But yeah, it was just very beautiful. And I think a lot of the questions you were asking her were in enough of a open space that I was able to, apply that to, and sort of in a similar light as Diana, a place in my life that I've come back to a few times. So adding to the, let's make this the final, or, this last wrap up of connecting. So that was a real treat as well. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Cecilia, always for your beautiful reflections and how you see everything. And it's just such good feedback for me to invite people into just envisioning it being themselves, because collectively we're usually all going through a lot of the same things, just with different life experiences. And so that's just really good feedback to say that you were able to have a positive experience from Diana's vulnerability in doing that. So again, just thank both of you for being here and speaking. And we'll see here if Chase has anything. Or he might be still driving. Chase, are you even there?
I am here. I'm still driving a little bit, but it was very, very. I can't find the right word for it, but it was just so neat to see how you were able to navigate her through this deep dive and this breakthrough. It reminds me of some things that I've been through and been through some deep dives myself, and coming out on the other side and to heal some things. So it was truly a blessing to listen to it. Congratulations, Diana, on that. I'm glad you're in a better spot. And Marsha, that was incredible. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about this and everything that you do. So thank you very much for sharing, all you guys.
Oh, thank you, Chase, and thank you for being here and your energy and just bringing the masculine energy to the group and allowing a safe space, because one of the things that I do find is sometimes like it's for us women in general, being able to feel safe with the vulnerability of a man around, and she was able to feel safe within your presence. So that is also something that it says about you. So thank you so much for holding that space and just being here. Every single one of you's energy was just so magnetic, and it was just such an honor to guide you and in this experience. And yeah, are there any other questions for me?
I don't have anything else, but just thank you for that, for organizing this, for everything that you do.
Yeah.
For kind of being the light.
Yeah, I definitely have to add to the gratitude, and also because there's way too many corners on the internet lately that are just not spaces I want to be in. So thank you for being one of the corners of light and adding to such those spaces that you can find, not only just positivity, but also a source for help and pondering and, tools and things like that. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just receiving your love, all of you. Thank you so much. And definitely whatever you see in me is within you, because again, we're the same, we're the light. And I will continue to do these I love doing this more than anything. This is why I offer it free. Like, I love this, so I get something out of this as well. But yeah, so if your heart feels called to do this work deeper, if you feel like you want to do deeper, I do workshops, I do one-on-ones. If you want to just take your own path and really just deep dive, all of that, you have access to it. But if it's not in your financial budget, leave it up to God. If it's something you really, right, throw it up to the universe. If it's something that you really feel like you would like support with, but if not, that's okay too, because I'm here in service. But I also, in being in service, is opening up the door to you to say that for the people that are on here, if you feel like you want to do this work deeper, I'm extending a discount to you for being here today, because I know these are the people that I want to work with that are here showing up for themselves. So I just want to open that invitation to you, but I'm going to continue to build in the community. to remember who you are, because you guys are just, you're learning today. So now you get to go shine that light, and we ripple out into the world, and we start awakening people to their inner being. And that's what this is all about. Together we're stronger. And I have so much love for you guys. Yeah, if you don't mind, just if you want to, just in the chat, the Telegram chat, just say like maybe 1 or 2 sentences, just so that way the group can understand the energy. And yeah, and if it's okay, I just want to get everybody's permission. Diana, because you went deep, is it okay if I share some things, or do you prefer that I don't? Okay, because I'll probably send this out in his email. So if that is all for today, my gosh, guys, remember who you are. You are nothing but love. I didn't play a song today. I was going to play for you. I'm going to leave it in the chat so you can listen to it on your own in meditation, and you can just listen to it, and it'll help you remember a little bit deeper. But for today, the conclusion for today, I just want to leave you with my heart to your heart. I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.